Namaskar and good evening, everybody. Welcome to Hingori, to this session of In Conversations with Hingori Sutras. Today, being Teachers' Day, Team Hingori Sutras is in absolute gratitude and would like to thank each and every speaker who came on our platform for the last 16 months and not only taught us but also helped enrich our spiritual journey. Our dear audience, may I request you to please make the most of this opportunity and enrich your lives through the sessions that we've still kept on YouTube as well as on Facebook, video sections. And please do put it into practice. Today, in our endeavor to help you put into practice what Rajiji taught us last Sunday, we have him with us again on the whys, hows, when, what, wheres of the Gayatri Mantra. A very warm welcome to you, Rajiji. Aapka bahut bahut swagat hai. Rajiji, can you hear me? Can I have you unmute, please?
Namaskar. Thank you very much, Anjali, for inviting me again. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Anji, and of course for us, Rajiji, last Sunday was truly enriching, but that that brought in a whole lot of questions in our head, and we would really need you to help us with getting on to practice what you taught us last time. So to start with that, my first question to you is, why do we practice the recitation of the Gayatri Mantra?
You see, the Gayatri Mantra is one of the oldest mantras. The essence of Gayatri Mantra is the core of enlightenment. So to reach to that core of enlightenment, that is why the Gayatri Mantra is done. The mantra for light. Light of what? Of Savita. The oldest light. The light of the creation of this universe. That is why it's called, and it's the essence of all the Vedas. That's called the Veda mantra. Also the Guru mantra, Savita mantra. So all these aspects, all these words, all these Savita, light, Gayatri, they all are synonymous. They all together, they mean the same thing. So being the oldest mantra, it is the mantra of basically enlightenment. That is why it's been practiced and developed into complete science by the great rishis, which is beginning with, so there were so many rishis, there are 24 rishis of the Gayatri Mantra, but Vishwamitra getting it onto earth, which was basically a Deva Mantra, only in the realms of Brahma and the other spheres in the Devalok, but he's the one who got it to earth by the chand or the prosody or the meter called Gayatri.
So, you did say that it was one of the oldest mantras. So here comes another thought. Yeah, I think I'm going a little off, but I think it's quite important. What are the changes that happen at the mental, at the physical, at the spiritual level of a person while chanting it?
You see, at the mental level, what it provides is a chaitanya, or the awareness, the awareness, which is the essence of all meditation also. So it provides you that awareness, wisdom, self-confidence. It gets you to a point where you are, you look yourself, the power of discrimination, and you carry on that power, that discrimination within inside into the life chakra with dharma. So that is what it does into the mental level, getting you calmness, peacefulness, and tranquility. Because tranquility is where you feel the essence of the soul. Without tranquility, you cannot derive or know the soul or what you're trying to know. There's a very nice statement, a very thundering statement by the great Rishi Vashisht. He says, there is no truth without peace. There is no peace without tranquility. And without tranquility, you're debarred from knowing the truth. So it's the cause within the cause. And this is the mantra that takes you out from the dullness or the ignorance of the mind at the mental level to move into its own intellect.
Right. Okay. So at the Hanji.
Yeah, at the physical level, is that what you want to know? Okay.
Yeah.
Since the mantra actually energizes the glands, the 24 basic glands that we talk about in this mantra, which is activates, these 24 glands get activated. With the activation of the glands, what happens? The entire body system starts to get energized. And with that energy, you start to feel energetic yourself. And it also makes you, into a sense, that your sleep habits, your living habits, your food habits, they all change. Like you start going to bed early because you have to rise up early in the morning. So the old saying, early to sleep and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise.
Right. So, Rajesh, can you give an example, a couple of examples of these glands as to, maybe 3 glands? I mean, 24 may be difficult to cover right now.
Should I complete the spiritual part? You want to know the spiritual part also?
Sure.
So what happens in the spiritual part? What is the spiritual? How does help the spiritual part of it? What happens is, when you're calm and you're tranquil, silence is where you can experience the soul. Silence is where you experience yourself. And what do we say? What do the great rishis or what do the great gurus and masters say? Realize yourself. You can only realize yourself when you're calm, quiet, serene. It's only in the silence that power which is your own gets revealed to you. It cannot be done without silence. So that is how it helps you spiritually.
Right. So there are multiple states, Rajiji. You have one of them, you have multiple states of mind, especially when you're sleeping. So
yes, what happens is what happens during actually with Gayatri Mantra. with the intensity of Gayatri Mantra, the intellect starts to prevail over the mind. Otherwise, what happens in everyday life? The mind is actually controlling the intellect. There's a difference between the mind and the intellect. So in this particular case, what happens is, when you go to sleep, you don't dream. Your dreams become less.
Okay.
You go to a more of a kind of shuptam sleep, deep, quiet, peaceful peace without any dreams.
Right. Rajiji, can I ask you a personal question? Yes. Do you dream?
Yes.
You do dream, is it?
Oh, you know what? It's my favorite pastime. I love to dream. I love to dream every day. I dream while I'm awake. I dream, and I dream while I'm sleeping. And when I'm sleeping, I'm awake, dreaming. But I have an uncanny faculty that I can dream, get up, get, go back and continue the dream. I can postpone it to the weekend. Love to dream.
That's getting a lot of thumbs up here from the audience. And right. So in while you're practicing,
I'm sure everybody will experience this. Yes. Go ahead.
While you're practicing these mantras, it is recommended that you drink a lot of water while doing the Gayatri Mantra. Why is that so?
See, you have to understand that Gayatri basically is a deity of water. Why the deity of water? Because it is the utpatti or the creation. The creation of this world is in the waters. As they say, there's old saying, the Lord put his seed in the waters. So in the water, that is where originally the mantras, this Gayatri mantra was practiced, and sadhana was done in Gayatri mantra, either in the rivers, in the wells, or in the ponds, etc. So it is recommended, because since that is not possible to do now, you must fill yourself more with water, because it's a Surya mantra. It's a mantra with a lot of heat in it. It's a Surya mantra. So it needs water to be filled up. And also, because it's a Surya mantra, there is a deity which is called Surya Narayan. So what does Surya Narayan mean? Surya means sun. Narayan, the deity is called Surya Narayan by the Vishnu sect or the Vaishnava sect. Narayan means, Nar means water, and Ayan means place of rest. So the sun rests in the waters. And there's a great statement of in one of the Upanishads, in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, where Rishi Yalvark says, the one who knows that the sun is in the waters knows the truth. So therefore it is recommended that you drink a lot of water to fill yourself and save yourself from dehydration. I know I had done my Gayatri mantra in a water tub, completely submerged.
Oh, all right, Anji. So, I mean, what are the powers that can be achieved through this mantra?
The powers are immense of this mantra, because it is a universal cosmic mantra. And being a cosmic mantra, it is the ultimate consciousness. The Aham Brahm is what is achieved in this. It activates the glands, the nerves, and it gets you into that state of consciousness where you start to feel the power of the cosmic energy. Otherwise, if you want to use this mantra as a siddhi mantra of getting this benefit or that benefit, a lot of things can be achieved, but that is not the purpose that this should be done, and that is not what we have been initiated and taught. So I desist and would also request everybody to do this mantra in a sattvic manner, in the manner to realize your soul, the innermost part of your soul. That is what this mantra should be done. And that is the greatest power of this mantra, because it is a mantra where you are asking the intellect to be brightened up.
Right, Hanji. So, I mean, I remember you telling me that somehow one needs to do this about 24 crores time for it to get siddh. How can that be achieved in one lifetime?
You see, what happens is, now you want to say that it is actually the power of the mantra. The number of times that you do, you achieve a certain power or a certain level of powers so if you recollect in Mahabharata and in, they talk about Arjun going and getting the Brahmastra. So the Brahmastra can only be got by repetition of the Gayatri Mantra 24 crore times. Now, how do you do that 24 crore times? Now, that is where the recitation of the Gayatri Mantra, when it is done, it's not done as a word by word and closing it by each syllable, but it becomes like a flow, as a water flow, and goes continuously. Then you're actually submerged, absorbed in that mantra, and that mantra carries on in its own self. Then the counting is also lost, then you're absolutely absorbed. But the mantra counts itself by itself. So that is how so many times of the number of times that you do is, it all depends on what kind of shaktis that you can achieve that. But that is not the purpose that we've been initiated and taught as far as the Gayatri Mantra is concerned.
Right. But I mean, just for our audience, it would be nice if you could share some experiences of what are some of the miracles a person who has been chanting the mantra can experience.
I think the greatest experience of this mantra is the level of meditation that you get to. To me, that is the prime most important. You get to a level where you start to get absorbed in the mantra, in the consciousness. That is what I think is the greatest part of this mantra. Otherwise, all is, see, it gets you, if you are able to know the difference of the body, mind, and soul, then you'd appreciate what this mantra gets you to. Because that is what the whole spiritual exercise and the path is. So this mantra actually purifies you for that aspect and makes you aware of your true self, the consciousness that you are, and that the Tat Sat is. So I think that is the most important part for me as far as the Gayatri Mantra is concerned.
Otherwise, have you experienced any miracles?
I know I've been saved a lot of times. While I've been chanting Gayatri Mantra, I've been saved by a lot of accidents that could have happened, very serious accidents. While I was chanting Gayatri Mantra and walking around, and something happened. So that is the miracle for me. But otherwise, I would say the greatest miracle for me is to be peaceful, quiet, to be a good human being, to get my soul and my heart to a level of purity. And that is what has done to me.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Gee, we just discussed about these glands, and earlier there are multiple surveys that have been conducted on the effect of the Gayatri Mantra, some of them revolving around the human body. I read that the Gayatri Mantra activates, like what you mentioned, and you said that the glands, right? And I read about it activating and helping the brain. I read about that and helping in focusing. So could you tell us something give us a few examples of some of these glands and how it works, or the most important ones?
The way to meditate on Gayatri Mantra, the mudras form a very important part of it. The mudras basically mean, mud means bliss, and ra means to get it activated, mudra. These 24 akshars of Gayatri Mantra are practiced with the 24 mudras. Now, I may not be able to show it to you physically right now. And this also has to be actually initiated to people once the Gayatri Mantra has been gone through and you've been received it from the Guru, and you've done over a period of time, you've attained to start doing the mudras. So there are 24 mudras. It's very difficult to say which is a good one or which is a bad one. It's actually a complete flow. The flow in a certain chart, and it's the energy that flows continuously like a running river, you can say. You can't say this is good water, this is bad water, but it's a complete flow of water.
Sure.
However, since you said to talk about this, according to me, the three important ones that I feel very energized and activated are, I'll perform it to you and I'll tell you what the mudra is, what the akshar is, who's the deity, what power it gives you, and what is the mantra of that deity. There are 24 different mantras for all the different akshars and all that, and all these are also part of each akshar belongs to each rishi. Now,
Okay.
I will not explain you the rishis, because there are different schools of thoughts. Some treat, for instance, Rishi Vashishtha as the first one. Some treat something else. So I don't want to, kind of get into controversy of that kind. But I can show you two or three, or maybe let's say three, for instance, the mudras that I feel are very important. Okay, the first mudra is called the Sammukham. Sammukham means it is performed at the Agni Chakra. It goes like this. Get all the fingers pointing together, which is also called the Mukul Mudra by hands, or also the Bud Mudra. Sammukham, right at the Agni Chakra. And when you recite the Gayatri Mantra here, it gives you that divine knowledge. This is the place of what is called the Akshar Tat. Tat means that. What is that? That divine knowledge. That is what it activates, the divine knowledge. And who's the Dev of that divine knowledge? Some say Brahma, some say, but Ganesh is supposed to be the deity of this Akshar. He is the one with the divine knowledge. And this is where how it is practiced. And you can have the mantra of this. This is called Om Ek Dantai Vidmahe. There are three important words in this: Vidmahe, Dhimahi, and Prachodaya. Vidmahe means to realize. So it says Om Ek Dantai Vidmahe Vakratundaye Dhimahi Tanno Dantih Prachodayat. So this is the mantra for this particular akshar, the Dev of that akshar, and the location of that akshar, Tat. Then you go into the Sa, Vi, and the other akshars, which are different parts of the body. But I think the other one that really activates is a very important one, according to me. It is called Sakatam. What is Sakatam? It's performed when you place your hands. It's a continuation of actually what flows, but I'm going to get to the Sakatam part of it. I'm not going to the prior mudra of it. So this is how it forms. Forms a triangle, and that you come and place it right at your heart level. And this is where the Gayatri Mantra is recited with the deity over here. The deity in this particular case being Gomati, because this is what is also called the word Go. So the Akshar Go is located here. It's actually behind the heart. It's not at the heart level, but that's how you can take your hands to. It forms a triangle. And what does it do? The power of this is the protective power of the body, the regenerating power of the body. This is what constitutes the body. And where does it go? It is at the bone, at the diaphragm, right at the back. And why there? That is where the go is. Go is the protective part. I'll just explain to you, but let me first complete this. So this is where the structure of the human body rests. And this is where, when you go in the cremation fields, after a person has been cremated and you pick up his bones, you look for what is called the Atmaram bone. This is where the Atmaram is.
The
and why
seat
is
of
it,
the soul, is it?
You can call the seat of the soul, because the heart is there.
Right.
The soul resides in the heart. And so does the mind. So the go is also an important part. Go also means, there's a mantra that says, which is for the, a lot of Vishnuites say this mantra, which is for protection of yourself, which is also which is called Om Anantai Namah, Om Achyutai Namah, Om Govindai Namah. So Om Achyutai means the indestructible one. The Om Anantai means the one that is endless, or it is boundless. It is Anadi. And Govindai doesn't really mean Hari. Go here means the protective force. So this mantra activates the protective force of the body. And that is where it is located. And this is also the Gomati mantra or the Saraswati mantra. And because it is also called the Saraswati mantra, the Gomati mantra, or the Go, where the Atmaram resides, there is a mantra for this, dedicated to Saraswati. And he says, Om Vakdevaya cha Vidmahe Brahma Patni Dhimahi Tanno Vani Prachodayat. So here you are realizing, you are praising, you are mentally meditating, and you are propelling the Shakti of Gomati or the Akshar Go at that particular level of Akshar in the Mudra sense. The third Anjali that I would say is, which I found to be very powerful, is called Synkrantam. It's a lion pose. And in this particular case, it is, when you come to the word Prachodayat, it's the Pra Akshar. The Pra Akshar, the Dev of this Akshar is Vishnu. And what does it give you? It gives you what is called the Prabhav, or the special power of Vishnu. And it goes like this. It is practiced while continuing from the heart level. It comes to a level which is like a single level. Sing means the lion pose. And here, when you practice this mantra, you practice the mantra in this posture or this mudra, you can feel the light, the energy descending down from your crown chakra to your Agni chakra to all the other granthis or the glands to the 72,000 nadis, to the atomic and the newtonic, the anu and the sukshmata of that, to the subtlest portion, the energy goes through your body. And that is where you actually can get into a trance in this mudra. It's a very, very powerful mudra, energizing everything that exists. With that, you experience the light, you experience that energy coming into you and lightening up like candles all over the body. So this is a Vishnu associated mantra. Therefore, it has a Vishnu Vidmahe and Dhimahi part of it. And it goes Om Narayanaye Vidmahe Vasudevaye Dhimahi Tanno Vishnu Prachodayat. So these, I think, three are my favorite. So I rated these three to you. But let me tell you, all the 24 have their own unique experience in terms of not only the energy flowing down. Remember, Gayatri is an energy flowing down. The Apan is an energy flowing down. You come down, the breath comes down into your body. So you first take a breath in, you never take a breath out. You can only take a breath out after you've taken a breath in. So when the breath comes in, all these energies come to you and reside in your body at the various parts. And then it starts to distribute all over the body. And that is where you feel the beauty of it, the essence of it, the power of it, and the energy of it. And then, of course, it's the same, because when this descends down, it's got to come up. And that is how, with this mantra, the Kundalini is also aroused. Because you have to understand, Kundalini is the down breath, then going up. It's the Kula. It's like a U. It's an inverted U. It's like picking it out. So the breath going in, if there was no Kula, it's like the handle of an umbrella, you can say. If there was no Kula, the breath will go down. But that is how it starts to move up. And that is where it activates. And then you start to get the energy, feel up the energy in the form of prana. And then obviously going through the other chakras and you breathe out. And that's how you breathe out. Because of the chakras being producing, the motor effect of the chakras produces heat. So the breath that you take out is always warm and hot. Yeah. That is the reason why it's warm. Because all the chakras are working.
Right. Beautiful. Ji, Raji, there's so much to learn. And there's so many different guides on how best you should recite the mantra. Now that you've just sort of demonstrated, the right position, the best time, the number of times one should recite the mantra, the list just keeps going on. I'm going to request you to guide us on each one. So let's start with what is the best time to practice the Gayatri Mantra?
See, first of all, let me tell you, Gayatri Mantra can be done at any time. It is the meditativeness of the Gayatri Mantra that you have to instill in yourself. All the time in the divine presence, or in the divine bliss of the Gayatri. But the best time to do the Gayatri Mantra is what is called the Sandhya times. Sandhya means a combination where everything is equal, is saman. So what are the times that are saman? In the morning at dawn, where the night has yet not ended and the day has not yet begun, where both the night and day are together. That is the best time to do. The other time to do is the same situation at night, in the evening, at dusk. The third, as per the Shastra and all the Shrutis say, should also be done in the afternoon. Afternoon is the mid-noon. Now, mid-noon doesn't mean 12 o'clock. Mid-noon can be at 11:55, can be at 11:50 in the afternoon, and as late as 12:30, 12:40, 12:25, 12:30. This
Didn't
actually,
understand that. Could you explain that?
yeah, I will. See, the daytimes, the daylight times change over the year. There's more daylight during summer and less daylight during winters. So the timing of the dawn and dusk also differ. So one has to see the timing of the dawn and dusk and then do the mantra. And what happens in the afternoon? It is a mid-day afternoon. It doesn't mean it's at 12. So whatever the whole day is divided into two, got and then added up into the dawn to get to that noon time. So that is what. And then when you recite this mantra, the Gayatri or the Savita mantra is seen as three different deities. In the morning, it is Gayatri. It has a different color. It is a color of dawn, which is that reddish color. So they say, oh, Gayatri in the morning is that beautiful virgin red in color, decked up with her ornaments, etc. As the prose goes in the Shrutis, in the text. Then during the day, it is Savitri. It's white in color, on a bull, powerful, strong. So it is worshipped or seen as Savitri during the daytime, white in color. And at night or at dusk, it is seen as Rudrani, Parvati, or even the Krishna Roop or Krishna Roop of Saraswati, which is bluish and dark in color. So rather than meditating on different aspects, but this is what the whole distribution is. And that is how the Gayatri Mantra is done 3 times during the day, which is the Vidhan or which is the prevalent procedure in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. But the best time is the morning.
And what is the best direction to sit in?
The best direction is in the morning. You see, the best direction is to face the sun. So in the morning, the best direction is what? The east direction. At dusk, what is the best direction? Best is the best direction. And during noon, what is the best direction? The best direction is north.
But why not?
For various reasons. Reason number one is, in our Hindu philosophy, in our Devic sampradayas, we look at the deity in the north. The deities are located in the north, in the Himalayas.
Right.
So all the puja part, or when you do a murti sthapana, the murti is always in the north facing south. That's why Shiva is also called Dakshinamukhi, looking towards the south. So that is one reason when you sit in meditation or in Gayatri, you look north. But when you look north, there is the sun.
Absolutely.
This is a very unique phenomenon, especially in the northern hemisphere. when you sit and look towards north, the sun is actually slightly behind your head. So it is more from the southerly side that you get the rays. So during the dawn, the rays are coming to you directly from the Savita, from the sun, where you're facing. And so is the case when you're doing it during dusk. But here, when you are facing north, where do these rays come from? These rays come actually from the back of the head. That place which is called the Dasma Dwar, that little, the eye at the back of the head, which is the Dasma Dwar. So that is how they descend to you during the afternoon when you are in meditation and praying facing north.
Wow. That's not something you find anywhere in the books to read or on
Yeah, you won't find it.
YouTube.
These come by experience. This comes by, a lot of things are not in the books. They're revealed to you over a period of time. And it's a grace of the Guru that reveals to you. The Guru reveals to you verbally when he's in front of you. He reveals to you in your dreams. He reveals to you in your meditation. He reveals to you in your intuition. So there are a lot of ways that the Guru reveals these to you.
Ji, and taking this forward, what is the best posture one should sit in while doing the Gayatri Mantra?
You see, the human body, if you see a normal human posture, you can divide it into three parts. One is a standing posture, the other is a lying down posture, and the third is a sitting posture. Now, in a posture, when you're standing, you're all the time aware, all the time alert, you're all the time looking at your own posture that you may not fall down. So your concentration is in your balance of just standing straight. While you're lying down, there are times that you can go off to sleep and you don't know. So that is a posture of complete rest and a posture which promotes Shushuptam or deep sleep. In between this posture is a posture where you are at rest and where you are absolutely aware yet at rest. So how you are aware and at rest? You are aware in your Chaitanya by the erect spine. So your chakras, the energy is flowing upwards in a free flow. And you're at rest by sitting cross-legged, either in Padmasana or Sukhasana or Vrajasana, whatever is convenient to one can practice that. And best time to do is in the morning.
Why in the morning? Why do you say that?
Morning, the most beautiful part. You see, the day, when in olden times, how did they measure time? There are no clocks, there are no hourglass, but it's something that they measure time with. Now, I'm not going to get into measurement and how the time was measured, but let me explain to you. Time was measured by the blink of an eye called Nimesh. So many blinks of the eye make a kast. So many kasts make a so and so. So many kasts. So there's a complete division of how they came to the 24 hours of this day and night formula. But they calculated the formula in what is called the time they called Muhurt. Each Muhurt is of 48 minutes. So there are 30 Muhurts during the day and night, whereby making it 1440 minutes, which is the exact number of 24 hours minutes. Now, all this time that is during the day is divided into what is called the Kal. Kal meaning, you say, Prate Kal, Madhya Kal, Sai Kal, Ratri Kal. So it's a Kal. The Kal is what means that the passage of time is Kal. The Kal is Mrit, is also the Kal Veda Mrit. Mrit means is also moving towards your death. Is Mrit, is also Kal. So they say no, but there is also a time which is the best time. And that time they call as the Brahm Muhurtam. So the Brahm Muhurtam is the time before dawn or the sunrise. It is 2 muhurts before sunlight. So if there's a sunlight, let's say at 6 a.m., so you have to take 48 and 48 minutes is 96 minutes. We take it 96 minutes before, that will be like about 4:24 in the morning, would be where the Brahm Muhurtam will start. But the important part of the Gayatri Mantra is the recitation of the Gayatri Mantra during the, what Guruji used to say, Lalima pe, when the sun is in its reddish color, pinkish color. Now, how is it that 96 minutes to the pinkish color? There are 3 twilights. There is what is called a astronomical twilight. There is what is called a nautical twilight. And there is what is called a city twilight. I'm not going to get into the Sanskrit words of it because it'll be more confusing for everyone. So what is the astronomical twilight? What is a nautical twilight? And what is city twilight? That's what you want to know?
Yes.
Okay. See, the day and night is divided into 24 hours. 24 hours is 1440 minutes. So when the time was devised, the modern timing was devised, it is devised by the longitudes. So when you take 360 longitudes, what does it translate to? 4 minutes to a longitude. So each time, each longitude is 4 minutes. That's why the time zones are made even in countries. For instance, if you were to take a Calcutta time to a time in Delhi, actually there should be a difference of at least maybe 15 minutes. If you were to go west to Mumbai, it would be maybe 30 minutes or more, and depending on the longitude. If you take the longitude, multiply by 4, you will know the timing. So these timings, the sun in the astronomical twilight is at 18 degrees below the earth level or the horizon level. So it's 18 degrees below. What does it mean? It is 72 minutes below the horizon line. Now, this takes 6 degrees, is again divided into 3 portions. The first 6 degrees of the 18, that is from 18 to 12, is the astronomical twilight, where you only see the light of the stars. Okay? Taro ki chhaon ke andar you have to do the part. So that is the astronomical twilight, when the best time to start your part at that time. Then is the other time, which is a nautical twilight. The nautical twilight basically means when you're able to, when the ships or the sailors are able to navigate their ships by the light. The light has still not come, but they're able to navigate. So those 6 degrees again make 24 minutes. And then so that you come to 6 degrees below the horizon line. And then the 6 degrees to the horizon line is what is called the city twilight, where you start to see the light of the sun, where you can do without an artificial light. So this is the other 6 degrees or the 24 minutes. Now, do you find something very similar, something very common in these? The 24 akshars of Gayatri with the 24 minutes of each twilight. So making it the first twilight, the astronomical, the nautical, and the city twilight. That is the best time to do the Gayatri Mantra, or for 1 hour and 12 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Oh, sorry, for 72 minutes.
So,
24, 24, 24.
right. So that is how long one should recite the Gayatri Mantra, is it?
That's the best timing. You asked me the timing. Yeah.
Right. And for how long should one recite the Gayatri Mantra?
Go on for the 72 minutes, but the Brahm Muhurta is 96 minutes. There's 72 minutes.
Jay. And how many times should one recite the mantra?
But what happened to the balance 24? Anjali, that's what you need to know. I thought you'd be alert to ask that. If there are 96 minutes, 72 minutes have gone in these twilights. What happened to the balance 24? You say it's a part of the Brahm Muhurtam.
Oh.
So 96 minus 72 equals 24. These 24 minutes are the minutes of the 24 rishis of Gayatri. So when you start the Gayatri Mantra, during the time of the rishi time, a lot of things happen. Apart from energy, apart from vision, you start to hear. You start to hear the sounds. You start to hear sounds of divinity. But you can only do it if you practice and experience it. It is the most beautiful time to do your Gayatri Mantra.
Wow. My math is a little weak and I didn't catch that for sure.
You know what? You need a calculator. These days are not mathematical brains like me.
Yeah, but this is like a total whiz class that we're having today, and I'm having to keep up with it.
But this kind of a knowledge, it comes by the grace of the Guru. It comes by Gayatri itself. It's not written anywhere.
Right.
You get to know by yourself. Like when you say self-realization, oh, you have to be self-realized, I'll do this. There is nothing that can help you in self-realization, because it's only the self that can be realized by the self by its self-effort. No way you can do it otherwise. No guru can help you. That he will show you the path, but that path you have to walk.
Right.
So that is why the guru is important. Because if he doesn't show you the path, where will you walk? And he'll show the shortest path, because he knows the path. But to say that guru will walk my path, no. He's already walked it. He'll show you walk there. If you don't walk, it's your problem. So if you do Gayatri Mantra, start 96 minutes before ask your guru and started.
Ji, ji. And how many times should one recite the mantra?
See, in our Hindu philosophy, the number 108 is very auspicious. For various reasons. I'm not going to get into the 108 combinations of 12 and 9 and this and that and 54 and 54 and the total alphabets of Sanskrit and the 54 part of Shiva and 50 part of Shakti and the nakshatra and the zodiac signs. I'm not going to get into that. But the best time, the best quantity to do, the number to do is 108 or multiples of 24.
Why?
Because it's a 24 akshar mantra.
Okay.
So 24, 48, 72, 96. And then also you can add up 12. So you can do 24 plus 12, which makes it 36. Now the 36 is, what happens here is this. Why is Gayatri Mantra so important as a Savitur Mantra and not the other Savitur mantras? Because the other Savitur mantras are not 24 Akshar mantras. They are 36. Different mantras have a different meter and akshars to it. But this is the shortest, which means in the shortest time, it can take the round of the 12 zodiac signs. So in 2 rounds, it completes what is called the 12 zodiac signs. And you can also do additional 12, this is called the Ardh, because then you added up another 12 zodiac signs. So you've got one complete and one half incomplete, but there's still the completeness of the zodiac signs is there. So these zodiac signs are also Adityas, they're also the suns. So they're also known as Adityas or the suns. Anyway, we're not going to get into that.
Wow. I think we can go on the entire year talking about the Gayatri Mantra.
Yeah.
See, now, you've got us so excited about what you shared with us. May I ask you to tell us what is the best way to recite the mantra, or how do you say it?
How do you recite something? One is speaking loudly.
Right.
Chanting loudly. So that is what is called a vachak part of it. There's a upasana part, which is something that you say, but only you can hear. So there is a way of reciting when other people can hear, which is a loud reciting. The other is reciting it slowly that when you can hear. So which is with the tongue. Only the tongue is moving and you're reciting and you're only hearing yourself. Nobody else is hearing. Or whispering, you can say. The third one is the manas part, in the mind. So when you recite in the mind, that is a more subtler part of recitation of any mantra, which is the man antara. So when you recite within the mind, it has a different energy level that it provides you. But let me tell you, many times when you recite the mantra, your mind is going here and there. When you're reciting the mantra, sometimes you feel, I'm doing in the mind, I'm got my mouth closed. But when you're ending the mantra, there is a little movement in the throat, or little movement in the tongue. So then it's not reciting in the mind. So the best way, what I feel, is reciting the Gayatri Mantra in the mind of the mind.
What does that mean?
What is the mind of the mind? The mind of the mind is the intellect. So you recite the mantra in the intellect. which is the best way. But why the intellect? Because what are you reciting? What are you asking the deity to give you? Oh, brighten my intellect. So if asking the intellect to be brightened, why don't you recite the mantra in the intellect? Why should you recite it outside?
How do you do that?
Now that is where you have to go to your guru. He'll explain you. So what I mean to say is, you need a guru. This is sadhana. You go into the depth of the mind where you close everything and only you can hear without your tongue moving or flickering the sound of the mantra going like the flow of a river. That is how you're able to recite. Then you become a part of the absorbed mantric chanting and meditation. And then that is where you can recite 24 crore times and get the Brahmastra.
In one life.
Bomb. The atomic bomb.
In one lifetime.
In one lifetime. You see, you have to understand. Oh, I could go on. What is a lifetime? What is that time you're talking about? The lifetime is only a glance. That glance, the lifetime is a point. You can stretch it. It's here, it's here, it's here, it's here, and it's gone out of the screen. It's still a lifetime. But how you're able to perceive that lifetime, that you do not experience the lifetime. You're absorbed in it. They say, for instance, Brahmaji's life is so many trillion years of human life. What does that mean? That time, that shan, or that second, the second of a second, is the same in correlation to a day. And that day is the same in correlation to 100 years. And those 100 years are same in correlation to a kalp. And that kalp is the same correlation to a yug. So these are all only divisions of time that we can talk about. Okay, this is the time. So lifetime. What is lifetime? There are people, their lifetime hasn't it started but hasn't ended. It'll keep on.
So are you saying that a mantra, once we get into the mantra vidya, it would there are certain, we've been doing this from our previous lives and it's continuing in this life and it would continue into our next lives as well? Or we do carry forward our mantra vidya?
This is a different topic altogether. I could very well discuss it. There's no issue about that. The previous life, this life, and next life, whether the same life or not, or just that you're always here. You were never there. Now you'll be over there. You were never before, or nor will be in the future, but you're still here. So what would it mean? So then you are not that what you were before. You are not this that you are now, and you will not be what you will be in future. There's a very nice episode that in Yog Vishisht, where the great Rishi is explaining to Shri Ram, and then Saraswati takes over, and there's a chapter called Leela. Right. So if you were to study the chapter of Leela, it will tell you. The beauty is that Saraswati explains the same person as Rishi Vashisht, and he becoming Padma, and then become Vidurath at the same place, same person, not moving, same body remaining the same, the soul remaining the same, in the same tomb or the same cave, but visualized in a different form, visualized in terms of conquering the world, visualize in terms of dying, in terms of then again gaining that enlightenment. So what does it mean? It means in this lifetime where you are, being nobody and going nowhere, you're right here, always were and remain to be.
Ji. Ji, Raji, in our last session, you mentioned about the flame. Yeah. And even today you were speaking about the flame that sort of, comes within. So why the flame?
Okay. What is Gayatri Mantra? Gayatri Mantra is a mantra of light, enlightenment. Savita. What is Savita? Savita is that source of divine light, that light that enlightens all these worlds, all these stars, suns that you see. That is why it is said it has got the light of 1,000,000 suns. Now, we can't see the 1,000,000 suns. We can't see the various other lights. We see the lights of the stars, the moon, and the sun. So when you start to do meditation or chanting meditation, you need a deity. So in this particular case, in the Gayatri Mantra, what is the deity? The deity is that light. Now there are various ways for you to get a deity in front of you. What can you do? You can do Gayatri Devi with 5 faces, 5 different colors of the faces. Gayatri Devi in the form of in 3 different forms, in the form of Gayatri in the morning, the red colored one, or Savitri during the afternoon, or you can say Saraswati or the Parvati Saraswati Rupa, the Rudrani Rupa, the blue Rupa in the evening. So what you've done is you embodying that light in different forms. Now, to concentrate, either you concentrate on the sun or any divine light, maybe Shiva. So you need a concentrating place. So you can do Savita, you can do the sun, you can do the moon, you can do anything that is lighted. You can do fire. But why do we choose the flame? My Guruji said, concentrate on the flame. I actually don't understand why the flame. And he also said that this is the flame that enters you and you get wedded to this flame. So what was this flame? So over a period of time, these are divine grace of the gurus who give you this knowledge. So he said, concentrate on the flame. Now, if you were to take a flame, see the flame very intently. You will be able to see 3 colors in the flame. The top color of the flame is reddish in color. The middle portion of the flame is whitish in color. And the below, from where it starts from the wick, is bluish in color. What are they representing? The top flame representing the color of the morning Gayatri. The middle showing you the color of the Savitri, the bright light. And the blue color, the dying, from where the flame has begun, showing you the blueness of the Rudrani, the Parvati, the Saraswati, that in the Krishna Rupa Saraswati color showing them. So this flame, and it gets, also it is very soothing. When you put on the sun, oh, the sun is so mighty and bright. That's why, it's masculine. Sura Devata. Here it's quiet, peaceful. What? Gayatri Devi. So it gives you that peace, that softness in Gayatri. So that's why concentrating on the flame. Now, if you were also to observe, a lot of the rishis, a lot of these medicants who practice yoga say concentrate on the flame. So what is the divinity of the flame? The divinity of the flame is the Gayatri, the prakash of that flame in its all three colors.
Thank you so much for this insight, Rajiji. Is there, do you advise any other method one should follow while doing the Gayatri Mantra? Anything more that you would like to advise us?
Yeah, actually, Gayatri Mantra can be recited anytime, as many times as you want. I've done that, my Guruji told me to recite it all the time. But recitation of the Gayatri Mantra all the time should also be done by the grace of the Guru, so that there's a protection. So it gives you the protection. But I would say the best way that I feel to recite the Gayatri Mantra or practice the Gayatri Mantra chanting and recitation are the Mudras. And there's a thundering statement of one of the great rishis. He says, what is the point of doing Gayatri Mantra without Mudras? Right. In fact, he is the last rishi, the 24th rishi of the Gayatri Sangha, or not Sangha, I would say, the Gayatri 24 rishis called Rishi Yagvalk, the writer of the Brihadaranyaka and the Yagvalk Samhita.
Okay. Ji, there are a couple of questions here from the audience as well.
Yes.
Nena would want to know what should be the tempo or the pace of the Gayatri Mantra when you're saying the Gayatri Mantra.
The pace has to be that you have to, the words, the meaning of Gayatri Mantra should be completely understood by you. Because Om Bhur Bhuvasva Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Whether you recite it slowly or you recite it as a flow, you should be able to see the mantra. Now that only comes by practice. It's like you seeing a river. The river is flowing. So you can be at that speed of Gayatri Mantra where it's just flowing, it just flows through your mind. You can stop any time to know it. But the way to recite the Gayatri Mantra is to understand the meaning of it. So recite it in your mind. There are various sounds. There are sounds that you can hear. There are sounds that you can't hear. The sound of the mind is one of the sounds that is heard, the heard sound, the unspoken sound. So you recite the Gayatri Mantra in your mind and hear it and understand the meaning of each akshar, each word that it is saying. That is the true way to recite the Gayatri. The speed is not important. As I told you, there have been times that if you do over a certain amount of jobs, you can see the Gayatri Mantra. It comes to you visually.
Right. Ji, another question here is, should we keep a glass of water while meditating, and where should one place that glass? Whether on the left side, right side, when we are sitting, should be near our feet or a little higher?
You should place it in front of you, whatever direction you face.
Okay.
Because that has to be energized. It is energized by the Gayatri Akshar, the Gayatri energy itself. So keep it in front of you, the direction that you're facing. Keep it at a little distance on a raised platform. That's where the jal should be kept.
Okay. And then drink it post your session?
Post, yeah. See, everybody has got different ways. I drink it in a different way. I drink it with certain chanting of a mantra, something, some prayer. So you should do that.
Right. Anji. One more question here is it possible to achieve a siddhi in the Gayatri Mantra without a guru, or can that happen only with a guru?
There are both views to it. There are people who didn't have a guru, but also, so it's a but eventually at the end of the day, you have to have a guru. Doesn't mean only physical form. Guru can be a book form, like in the sixth, the guru is the Granth Sahib. So there has to be, you have to have uh, a source of light that you go to, you ask for. It can be, when you go to a mandir to worship, it's a stone. So is that, but that stone can also be a guru. Why? Because you see that guru tattva in it. So it's a guru tattva that you have to look for, irrespective of where it is. But it's easier when you have a guru, because then the guru is physically can see you, overlook you, tell you where your mistakes are in pronunciation, in sitting, in posture, so many things. And it's like you taking a child to walk through the steps.
Right. And there was a question here by Roma saying, how can we learn the mudras of Gayatri Mantra? Can we have another session teaching us the mudras?
You know what? I would be delighted to do it, but I would not, because there's a great sanctity to it. It needs a lot of discipline. It needs the discipline of the body, mind, and soul. And it has to be done under practice, under a guidance. And it has to be done at a certain time and regularly for long periods of time. So, but if you're looking for a siddhi, is not what I would recommend. I'm not the person for it. It's a wrong address, a wrong telephone number you have. I'm in more for the, as I told you, the praise, the meditation, and the prayer part of it, in the absorption part of it, that let that light be, कहते हैं ना, हमारे में समा जाए और हम उसके अंदर समा जाए. So I'm more towards that than anything else. But to show you the mudras, it's a very intense demonstration and intense period of that meditation, which you cannot understand just by showing it. It's like a Kathakali. You'll say you Kathakali dance of various hand movements and fingers. Right. It's the intensiveness of that feeling, of that power, of that energy that it generates within you when you recite the mantra with that for a certain period of time in that mudra, and then it starts to roll, then starts to become one. So in otherwise just Kathakali. Excuse me.
Right. Yes. There's a question from Rahul Gaikwad, but this is more about how do you find a guru. Rahul, I would suggest you do, if I may answer this question, Rajiji, please do read our book, Guru Sutra. It may be your first guide towards helping you find a guru. Please, you could get it on Amazon. You could get it on, if you like to listen to the book on Audible. Our book, Guru Sutra, may be your first step towards finding your guru.
But in these times of high tech, you've got a guru here. Google.com.
HingoriSutras.com. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And one last question,
Yeah.
if I may ask you, Rajiji, again, a personal one.
Go ahead.
Why do you wear so many different hats?
Oh, I love that question. Anjali, there is a program that comes on the TV, a very popular program, and where the anchor or the host is always asking questions and gives you four choices, right? You know that program? Okay. So, and then there was this host or the anchor who came also a celebrity actor, and
Right.
he'd give a hat to the guy who reached a certain stage. But those guys had four choices. I have none. So I thought, let me wear my hat before it blows off. Well, it's just a habit, I just got into. I just like it. There were
Right.
other options. I could have worn a Pandaji topi with a tilak. I could have worn a turban like any other lot
Yeah.
of gurus who practice these days. But I feel let's be natural. Why not be Hawaii?
Absolutely. That's great. And it was so very fabulous today talking to you, Rajiji. Thank you so much
Pleasure.
for
God bless everyone.
inspiring us, to practice what is being taught. So the key here is practice, practice, practice. We can
Yes, but
keep speaking about things, but till we don't practice it, we're not going to experience
I am a great
what we can.
I'm a great ardent worshipper, lover, whatever you want to call it, of Gayatri Mantra.
Gee.
I remember as a small child, the first Gayatri Mantra was given to me by a Pandit. When I had my, in Brahmins, we have the Janev
Thread
ceremony.
ceremony.
Yeah. So my thread ceremony was, I think I was 5 or 6 years old. And it was in our village. And my grandfather had a big feast there. The whole village was invited. I was made to sit on a horse, which looked like a donkey to me anyway, but small little horse. And then I walked, they took me all around the village and then onto a river. Not a river, it was like, I would say, what they call as a bamba in UP, or a stream or irrigation stream.
Right.
There the Panditji made me sit next to him, look into the water, and said the Gayatri Mantra in my ear. And then he gave me water to drink. Then many years ago, later on, I would say 17 years later or 18 years later, when I met Guruji. So he asked me, Raji, do you know the Gayatri Mantra? I said, yes. He said, speak it out to me. So I recited the Gayatri Mantra. Say, okay, now I'm going to give you the Gayatri Mantra. So he got a glass of water. He said the Gayatri Mantra in my ear 3 times, and then made me drink that water or jal 3 times, reciting the Gayatri Mantra, and said, now you're initiated in the Gayatri Mantra. And then, of course, the practice started, and I used to do Gayatri Mantra day and night, walking, talking, sleeping, in the tub, whatever.
Beautiful. Beautiful, Rajiji. Today, I'd like to wish you Happy Teachers' Day.
Thank you.
And
bless you all, and all of you become teachers. Well, most of you are anyway.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Rajiji.
Thank you very much.
So
God
much.
bless all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, dear audience. Good
Thank
night. Sayonara. Khuda Hafiz. See you next Sunday. Thank you. Thank
Good
you.
night. Good night.